Okay, good morning. I just finished most of my morning routine and I wanted to make a video. I am really, I don't have any, it's not going to be like something that's greatly put together or have all of these aspects of positivity. I'm in process and it's really difficult. I'm not going to lie. Um, but I wrote down some of the things I wanted to talk about, and I call this my social media voice. And in a perfect world, I would have 1 million followers at some point. But I think also in the right world, I'll have to come from a centered place to make these and not really worry about anybody watching because a lot of it's going to be for me. While also, if it is going to be posted, then obviously there is some desire to kind of connect or something, um, and have a voice in the world. So I'm just kind of observing that I also am still posting despite the fact that it is personal. Um, so I like I said, had a couple things I want to talk about, and I actually wanted to talk about elementary school that I had gone to, but I think that would be good for another video. Um, it's part of the things that I'm doing for expressive blogging, and basically, I don't feel comfortable messaging on the video that I've watched yesterday simply because in this moment and integrating these experiences, it'll be really helpful to be able to talk about, going to sleep and my girlness, my girl womanness, and things like, if I, maybe TMI, but if I don't feel like wearing a bra or something, or if I want to talk about puberty and things I experienced at this school. And mind you, one of the things here is that I'm having to go back and rewire and do everything that's possible to be able to um, access the fullness of myself before I call on the fullness of God, if that makes sense. So I have work to do, and that's the process. And at this school, I actually had graduated first in my 6th grade class, and that was what basically was what helped me get into the next school that I would attend, which was starkly different. But I just want to say that because it's been something that's never really been recognized. And it's not just me, it's in my family system, my siblings as well. But also, being of the girls slash woman gender, that is an important thing to note because I'm trying to go back and understand what I stand on, and understanding that I may be in different ways the first generation of something. And so to not have this recognition actually goes in line with the history that I stand on, if that makes sense. The girl slash woman history I stand on. And I also want to include the other gender as well. And I'm aware of, LGBTQ, and I'm I'm figuring out a lot of this as well, but some of it actually impacts me. So I say that to say that let me just go ahead and start. So first off, I'm using social services. I have like a service where I can get a bus pass for a reduced rate. So I'm still on the bus and working towards not being on the bus, okay? And seeing alumni of this school I just talked about, I want to be further along because these kids are successful. These once children, now adults, are successful. And here I am making a video about desiring that but not being that. And obviously I'll include a lot of things that's going to be happening around us, right? Because who I am or who you are, anyone is, doesn't exist in a vacuum. And to do otherwise, to exist otherwise would is just a break with reality. Then also I qualify for about $24 of food stamps a month while that service is available. Still in this time, even though I know it's being taken away with the just the messed up governing right now. So that's what I wanted to start with. I want to talk about the school I went to another time, and hopefully with the process of this, I'll be able to eventually go back in, circle back around, and comment on the post. But if this is the time I'm starting my period, and TMI, but um, you know, I I forget that I am still on my period now, but I'm finished at the last bit of my period. Puberty, all of these things. It's weird that I can't really touch that yet again until I am able to engage with myself, if that makes sense. So, but the goal is to be able to circle back around to that. All right, so one thing I did like at that school, though, is that we were required to have planners, and they provided us with planners at 10 and 11 years old, and even younger, but I went in 5th and 6th grade. And all of us were supposed to write down our assignments at the end of each class when our teachers gave us the assignment in our planners. And I remember it represented, the school was called Marbut Elementary, and it was purple and gold, so even the colors are very regal. I absolutely adored this school, absolutely adored this experience. It is a memory that really, really set a foundation for me so that I can look at it and see how I am a late bloomer, but who I am in the essence of who I was and who I am can be seen at the age of 10 and 11 years old. And who you are can't be diminished. It can be within different environments, but if I start to tap into myself again, that girl is alive and well, and she has a voice that she didn't have then and that she's starting to develop now. So anyway, I made this planner. These are actually appliques of butterflies, and I love butterflies, and maybe I'll just draw a caterpillar on there just because it seems like it's a cute little match for the butterflies, which my mother always hated caterpillars, I remember. But basically, yeah, I don't know what I'm saying, but that's that. So I'm gonna have to write in the planner. It was the cheapest planner at Office Depot, and yeah, and just maybe caterpillar would be cute, and it helped me to just continue to integrate my mother. So I'm going to go ahead and do a few dance exercises that I'm going to have to start working on, because I've been taking a break from that also, simply because the performances were not that great. I had been injured for some time, so I got to get my butt back into things and kind of deal with the fact it's really going to suck for a little while, since I've been actually making progress. So on top of getting still my life together. So all of this just gets so frustrating sometimes. But I just want to share some exercises, and I'm going to push this back because I can be able to do that. And I'm on the floor. It just gets more comfortable here for me sometimes. So this exercise is going to be where you go up and I just want to, so go up, and then this is good. It helps to stretch out the back of your legs. And this has gotten better for me in even just the past 6 months, but I actually should be able to put my head all the way to my legs. That would be really good because it leads to a nice looking stretch when you're jumping or doing certain movements that require your legs to be straight. Something like this gives a good foundation to be able to have that in the air without thinking about it, if that makes sense. All right, the second exercise that I do with the person that I started working with, who sees me despite my age, and they call me highly intelligent, and I really appreciate that because that helps to meld both the right and left sides of my brain, and cling on to the girl that liked science and math and social studies and English. I was a 360-degree girly, and really cling to that wholeness of who I am. Okay, so this one is actually just put your arms on the back like that. Then you point your feet. So I have my feet here. Point, and then you flex it. And then you have to keep your legs very, very straight. And then turn out, point, and then turn back in. And then we're supposed to reverse it. Turn out, flex, in, point. And apparently I learned that girls in the Vaganova school do this, which is the main school in Russia, that the government in Russia basically has a school to train ballet dancers. Okay, and then the next one that I'm gonna have to start working on is putting my arms against the wall and walking forward from the wall. And what that does, it kind of produces a very nice regal quality. It's like the motion or the position itself creates a really beautiful feeling, which causes you to walk in a really beautiful way. All right, so that's that one. And the last one, I don't think I have the space to do it on this floor, and I need to clean up. My floor is really kind of messy. I cleaned up a little bit yesterday. But I'm going to be on my belly and lift my legs from there. So I'm like this, and then I'm going to rock back and forth. And what that does is that puts you in kind of a U shape, a U shape, and that helps to stretch out your back so that your arabesque is going to be prettier. So that's it. That's all I wanted to share. I need to go ahead and get to the coffee shop, get my stuff. Actually, no, mail out some stuff for the holidays that I didn't get mailed out. I have so many gifts to catch up on based on my non existent budget. And, people are homeless out here. People are losing their jobs. People who look like me, and people who, um, so I am, it is a blessing to be able to have a space in this time. And also, I have goals that within the context of what is happening, I still want to achieve. And so, yeah, so let me get to things. There's a lot I'm working on that I'm not sharing here. So hopefully I can be able to open up and say more about those things as well. And Act 1, Act 2. Act 1 is in process, and hopefully, God willing, can be a foundation for Act 2. And so much I'm not saying, so I'm just saying that here so that even that statement can encompass all of these things. All right, have a great morning, and I will um I will have the morning that I'm going to keep working towards things even as I feel bad a lot of times and desire to have the level of success of those I see around me, but then also understanding that things can be a lot more difficult as well. And so just trying to kind of like stay where I am and keep working and keep building and try to focus. And I'll probably need to write out some of the things that I'm have gratitude for because I didn't get to that part of the morning routine. And something even with I have like I have just a lot of I just have a lot of mess actually. So even this, I'm not even saying like all of the mess. A lot, but I'll just stay there. And all right, have a good morning, and maybe next time we can talk about more. All right, bye.